Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, how are we doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be going over the entire Conjuring universe and ranking them from worst to best. I personally love this franchise, man. They've got some of my favourite horror movies of all time, and yeah, it's about time we make this list. I was waiting for the third Conjuring movie to come out and get my review. There's 8 movies in the Conjuring universe. We're going to go through them all. Now, this first one, I'm just keeping it real. In fact, the first 2, I kind of don't really like, man. But yeah, it is what it is. Not all franchises are perfect. Something's got to be at the bottom, and it is The Nun. This movie, nah, bro. I think The Nun in Conjuring 2 is one of the scariest things I have ever seen. And when they announced a Nun movie, I kind of knew it's going to flop. Just the time period it's set in, just everything about this movie. Well, I'd say like 70% of this movie I'm just not on board with, man. Like, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but compared to the other movies, not compared too much to the next one, that's pretty bad as well. But I'm pretty certain on most people's lists, this is going to be dead last, man. It wasn't scary. It didn't use anything from Conjuring 2. It just felt like it just flopped, man. That's the best way I can say. The story, I just did not get into. I did not like the characters. They had the nun, one of the scariest things ever, mate, and they just bottled it. Just this movie, nah. Next up is The Curse of La Blah Blah Blah. And yeah, you didn't hear me wrong. The Curse of La Blah Blah. Basically, the reason I call it that is because when I done my initial review, it was like 3 AM. I was so tired. I actually couldn't get my words out properly, so I thought, you know what, that's its new name. This is like the ultimate jump scare movie, man. It starts off crazy, mate. I was fully on board within the first 10 minutes, and then it becomes a generic horror movie that you've seen 1,000 times, but other movies have done it better, and it's just jump scares left, right, and centre. Nothing's really spooky, nothing's scary. You see everything like coming a mile away. The cast was a little bit dead. There was one person who saved this movie, so it was like watchable basically, but if you take him out, this movie is so bad. It's actually one of my first movies I ever reviewed on the channel. It might even be my first ever movie review, man. I can't remember, but I just remember it was bad. Next up is Annabelle. It's pretty safe to say that when everyone saw the first Conjuring movie, we all knew there's going to be something to do with Annabelle. Now, I wouldn't say this is like some really good movie. I do think it's like a little bit better than average. Some of the cast and the overall story I'm fully involved in, man. I think the Annabelle doll is like one of the scariest things genuinely I have ever seen. And I know I've said it bare times on the channel. Right there, you can't see it, but I'm looking at it right now. I have a full-scale 1:1 Annabelle replica doll. If you want to see that, it'll probably be in the description or it'll be somewhere. Definitely check it out. Proper scary, mate. Doll's scary. Some of the jump scares are really good. It does have a good amount of tension to it. A lot of like dark scenes. It's just the overall story is very, very weak, man. It's, again, for me, it's a little bit better than average. If I had to grade it, it's probably like a 6 out of 10. Next up is Annabelle Comes Home. So this is the third Annabelle movie, and I do think this is definitely better than Annabelle, but it's definitely not hitting like the greatness level of the other movies. The characters are way better. The story is way better. The doll, all the scary scenes are good. They're just not at the level of like the other movies on this list. Again, if I had to grade this movie, which I already did on the channel, I can't even remember what I gave it, man. I did rewatch it. If I'm being fair, a 6.5, maybe a 7. This movie, compared to the next one, the gap is huge, and yeah, it kind of hurts it a little bit, but this movie has at least got rewatchability, man. I've seen it 3 times now, and I did enjoy watching it. Like, there's no boring moments. There's just a lot of, like, cliche, you know the characters are going to do some dumb stuff, all that stuff. Kind of like your typical horror movie stuff, which is never good, because the Conjuring movies, they do things outside the box, and you've seen things you've never seen before. So when this goes into the realm of, like, things you've seen, it kind of becomes a little bit dead. Right, so before I say my next one, they were like this. I am not joking. They are so close. It's crazy. Now, the reason I've done it this way round is because the next movie I've only seen once. Maybe in the future I'll change it, but yeah, it is what it is. Next up is The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. This is obviously the latest movie in the Conjuring franchise. It is properly fresh in here, mate, which is not a good thing. This was proper scary, man. Scary scenes, extreme tension, genuinely good jump scares. The story is unlike anything else on this list. You know, like the Conjuring 1 and 2, we kind of like get the formula now. We know how it's going to play out. The first like 10 to 15 minutes of this movie plays out the same, and then it totally changes, becomes this like kind of like detective movie, but it works really, really good, man. This movie was sick, man. In fact, I'm just saying right now, I gave this a 9 out of 10. I'm sticking by it. This movie was so good, man. Anytime the Warrens on screen, I was loving it. Everything else I loved. There was nothing I didn't like in this movie, man. It is absolutely solid. You need to check it out.
Jesus. I think I hurt someone.
Next up is Annabelle Creation. Again, the reason this is above Conjuring 3 is because I've probably seen this like 10 times. I'm not joking. This movie and the next two, you're probably going to guess what they are, obviously, and probably get the order in. But yeah, those movies and this one, some of my favourite horror movies of all time. I personally think prequel movies, if they're done good, can be so sick, man. And the story, the characters, everything in this movie works so well. There is genuine scenes I remember in the movie theatre. The opening scene, 10 minutes in, you know what I mean. I genuinely remember people shook in the movie theatre, man. At multiple points in this movie, there is genuinely awful scenes in this movie, man. Just, yeah, this movie is so good. This is the absolute pinnacle Annabelle movie. I don't think they'll make another one anyway, but if they do, it is never ever going to touch the greatness of Annabelle Creation. For me, again, it's a 9 out of 10. Sick movie. Next up is The Conjuring 2. Second movie in the like main franchise titles. Absolutely nightmare fuel, mate. The opening scenes, the nun, that stupid old man, that stupid big ass cripple thing. Oh, there's so many scary things in this movie, man. Just the Warrens, amazing. The family in Enfield. By the way, it's like 20 minutes down the road from me by car, yo. In fact, if you want me to show you guys, let me know down below, or let's try and get this video to like 20 likes, and yeah, I'll show you guys where it is, literally down the road, mate. Just the Warrens coming to the UK, to somewhere that is so close to me, man. It kind of hits home a little, mixed out with like the genuine real scenes from real life in the movie. It is properly creepy, man. Extreme tension, story's amazing. Just, I can go on and on and on. This movie, for me, is a 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, this movie's so good, man.
What's wrong? Mom? Who's that?
And the best movie is The Conjuring. I don't think any movie that they make in this franchise, and by the way, I hope they continue making them because I love these movies, but I don't see anything touching the original Conjuring. This is absolute, just the stuff of nightmares, mate. I don't think anyone was ready for how scary this movie is. I cannot watch this in like darkness on my own. Nah, bro. All the actors, all the cast, the Warrens, everything about this movie is flawless. By the way, if we're rating this, for me, it's a 10 out of 10 God tier status movie. Extremely scary. Do not try and tell me you can watch this and not be a little bit shook, man. It's so tense, dark, evil. The jump scares are on point. It's everything. It is everything for a horror movie. Like, this is like the blueprint on how to make an awesome horror movie. A few movies tried to like do this style. Don't even waste your time. You can't do it.
Hey, wanna play hide and clap?
The Conjuring is a masterpiece. I'm saying it, and there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, do you agree with my list? Whatever it is. In fact, if you want to tell us your list, that would be properly sick, man. Let us all know down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I always appreciate the big love and support, and I'll see you all in the next one.